in, almost to the weekend. It is a Football Friday edition of the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN Radio. You can always find us at 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and online at SEMOESPN.com. And if you have a smartphone, you can download our free app. Lots of goodies in that free SEMO ESPN app. Just go to your app store, search for SEMO ESPN. It's got the Listen Live link, links to our contests and promotions, the latest breaking news, the latest radar weather forecast, a link to our podcast page. It is free. It's the SEMO ESPN app. Eric Shawn and the lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band in studio, inviting you to join us in the huddle. Our EBOMD huddle hotline number is 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220. The huddle hotline powered by EBOMD. Michael Rennick in the house, and you've been here every day.
Yeah. What's going
awesome.
on? What's going on?
No 3-day weekend this week. That's all right. But we had the Labor Day thing on Monday, so a little shorter work week.
You know, the phrase is, Eric, work don't do itself.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, so yeah, it's this is kind of the beginning of the busy stretch of fall. You know, I know high school football on the Missouri side started last week, but you know, you have this, you got SEMO, you got the SEMO District Fair, you got all kinds of things that just start rattling off, and it's a busy time of the year, but it's a good one. Good to be busy.
So the SEMO District Fair parade is tomorrow morning, 9:30, and you've got to get the tent set up for the River Radio tailgate. I guess the parade is all done by then.
Yeah,
since it's a 6:00 game, right?
Yeah, because our tailgate opens at 4, so we always kind of get together a couple hours before and start setting up. So, plus the parade heads the opposite way of Hauk, so that that helps as well.
So again, for people that would like to partake and join in on the River Radio tailgate, you can't just show up and go to the tent. We are very, very snooty at River Radio. We are not inclusive unless you visit one of our ticket sponsors. And where can people go to get a free ticket? You just walk in, ask for your tailgate ticket. Where are they going?
MRV Banks, Simply Swirled, or Smoothie King.
There it is.
Yeah, three locations to serve you.
And you can just walk in and say, hey, could I get a tailgate ticket? And, oh, by the way, I'd like the strawberry smoothie on my way out.
That's right, yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to open a checking account, before I leave.
And show up with your ticket, and you can join us in the River Radio tailgate tent.
Yeah, now I hate to be put on the spot here, but I'll do my best. So, Kofeld Distributing has been part of this from day one. So we have fantastic Kofeld products, EBOMD, also one of our presenting sponsors. And then you've got, we'll have Rosati's, we'll have Outback Steakhouse, we'll have Little Caesars, we have Culligan. Who am I missing here? Food Giant. There's just a great spread of food and beverage. And we shut things down about 15 minutes prior to kickoff, so everybody has enough time to, take their last bite or their last drink and get into the stadium and be there in time for kickoff.
All right, everybody, you got time for one more swallow, and then you've got to
call.
You got to head in.
Yeah.
So if you would like a cold suds.
And we have the non-alcoholic drinks as well. Typically a nice cold water.
And usually it's not just, okay, I really don't want a beer. There's seltzer, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kofeld, again, they do a great job of just giving a variety of products. You might have your Coors Light, your Yingling, Miller Lite, Coors, the banquet beer, seltzers, the whole gamut.
And now that Yingling is a big part of SEMO's sports, we encourage
Absolutely
the Yingling.
Yeah.
You're a Yingling guy, though. You were talking about that.
The Yingling
quite
Flight?
A while. Yeah, Flight.
It's good. Good stuff.
What's the difference? Is there a non-flight?
Well, yeah. I mean, their Flight is kind of what'd you call it, like the low carb.
Okay. All right.
Low carb beer. Then they have, Yingling Lager, Yingling Light. So they run the gamut.
So you got Light and Flight.
Light and Flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's kind of a, we don't request certain things for the tailgate. Cortland, Kofeld, and Mark and Mike are always great about putting together a good variety. And
well, when my girls were little, the saying used to be, "You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit."
Right.
So that's what you're saying.
That's right. And the key word, it's free. That's the key word right there.
But you need a ticket.
You need a ticket, and
Culligan Water is one of our sponsors.
Right.
So that means
2-minute timeout, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got, or as I like to refer to as the 2-minute warning, because the NCAA put out a little statement. We would like it referred to as the 2-minute timeout. So of course I'm going to go 2-minute warning.
Now, is that because it's NFL owns the rights to that, or they're just trying to differentiate themselves?
Maybe. I mean, college
side.
Football has adopted a lot of things that are NFL things.
Right.
And so I don't know why they'd have a problem with the 2-minute warning. Don't know.
Right. They still call it a first down, right?
They do refer to it as a first down.
Yeah. And a touchdown.
Correct.
Okay. So that terminology remains the same.
Stone Mountain and Flooring touchdown for a Red Hawk touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Culligan Water is, you can get bottled water courtesy of Culligan.
At the tailgate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you're going there and you're looking for Evian, sorry, we've got something a little better. Yeah.
A little better.
And I don't know if you know this, Evian, who was one of the very first, I mean, we're talking 80s, right? I mean, you can go back to the 80s with Evian, right? Probably before that. But bottled water, doesn't it seem like Evian was one of the very first ones to actually get into bottled water, that everybody kind of jumped in?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Paying for water. And I do want to point out, Evian, spelled backwards, is naive.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you know.
Just keep that in mind.
Now you know.
And if that went into anything naming Evian. So we got the football going yesterday for this week, and it started at Houck Field with Saxony Lutheran and Donovan. Both teams had played each other in JV football. I know Donovan had football dropped, that brought it back. And we mentioned that epic game they played last year in the JV ranks, 40-38. Saxony Lutheran outlasted them. Last night, if it was a boxing match, they would have stopped the fight. 35-7. Crusaders, Kai McDowell, 5 touchdown passes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Big night.
Bet his dad felt right at home there at Houck.
Well, his dad threw 5 touchdown passes probably a lot when he was at North County.
Yeah, probably so. I know that their stadium's not ready, but what a nice treat to be able to play at Houck. I still remember, which I'm sure a lot of people do, whenever Cape Central, when Houck was home for Cape Central. I actually ran into a guy last week who played high school football in St. Louis, and he brought that up. He's like, man, we always loved coming to play Cape Central at their place because we knew we were going to be playing at Houck Stadium, and we loved being able to play in a college facility, a college stadium. So great treat for Saxony to be able to do that last night.
Do you remember, I'm trying to think what year it was, 97, 98-ish, when Cape Central was still playing at Houck. They played Jackson. Mario Whitney.
I remember Mario Whitney
Was on the team, and you could not have fit anyone else into the stadium if you had lubricant. It was that packed. Do you remember that game?
I don't know. I used to go to a lot of the home football games for Cape, but I don't know if I remember that one or not.
That is close to as big a crowd as I've ever seen at Houck Stadium. And they've had some jam-packed sellouts for SEMO games.
Yeah, but that's
I just remember I wasn't broadcasting. I was down on the sideline for some reason.
We could have been doing something there, radio related.
I don't remember what it was. Obviously, we were broadcasting the game because back then we did Cape Central. I don't think we did Jackson. I know in 97, my first year here, we did do their playoff games. I broadcast their playoff games in 97. That team had, like, Devry Flint was their top running back. I know they played at Parkway Central, and Flint had a sprained ankle. So you could tell he was hobbled. They ended up losing at Parkway Central. It was really cold. We had to sit outside to broadcast. I remember that. But maybe it was 98 or 99 when they played Parkway Central. Anyway, I just remember that game with Cape and Jackson at Houck and the size of the crowd with Mario Whitney there.
Hey, that's it seems like no matter how good or up or down those programs are, when they play each other, and then you had obviously a player like him, that was fantastic and helps elevate, the light shining on that game.
And so another high school game at Houck Stadium. Been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
So
that was always also and maybe they still do it, I don't know, but the Cape Youth Tackle Football League, like the last game of the year was at Houck.
They played it there.
Yeah, so that was always, always a exciting time as well to be able to.
I don't know if they
I don't know.
Play any.
I don't know.
Games. We'll have a big game there tomorrow, 6:00. SEMO will take on North Alabama. Now, they play in this United Athletic Conference. It's the third year for this conference. What they did was they combined two conferences, the ASUN and the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. So many things have changed.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, the Western Athletic Conference, back in the day, you'd have those West Coast games, and they would be big shootouts, WAC football. So they combined those two conferences for football, United Athletic Conference, and that's what you've got with the United Athletic Conference, the UIC. So it's year 3. North Alabama plays in that. This is their 4th year of being a full-fledged Division I FCS member. They had a 4-year probation period. They put you on double secret probation when you go D2 up to FCS. Lindenwood had to go through that, and Southern Indiana. They're not football, but they had to go through that.
I remember when SEMO did.
Yeah, SEMO had to do
several years ago.
So these two teams played last year in the Kickoff Classic, and SEMO beat North Alabama 37-15. That game last year, the Redhawks ran for 178 yards in the football game. I'm interested to see how they're going to be able to run the ball tomorrow, because that's when we saw, man, this freshman, Peyton Brown, he looks really good. It was 19 carries for 97 yards for Brown, 3 touchdowns in the football game. So the Redhawks ran for 4 scores in that game. And remember, Paxton DeLaurent got hurt in that game. He threw a touchdown pass, got hurt, and they had to bring in Carter Hensley, who did not win the starting job this year, so he transferred, got in the portal. He knew he wasn't going to be the starting quarterback with Jax Leatherwood, so he transferred. But Hensley actually led him to the victory, but the Redhawks were able to run the ball. And that was before Brandon Efton got hurt, Peyton Brown got hurt, and they were just decimated. A bunch of offensive linemen were injured, and they couldn't consistently run the football,
right?
Which is why they passed 85 times in the playoff game against Illinois State. Well, the Redhawks ran on them last year, and Brown had a big game. And these are 2 different type running backs. SEMO's Brandon Efton, scat back. He's got a different gear in terms of foot speed. And then Peyton Brown, who put on, I think, 16 pounds of muscle in the offseason. I think he's up to 228. That's what he's listed at on the SEMO roster. And he is a load to bring down. And trust me, some of these defensive backs do not want to see Peyton Brown coming with a head of steam towards them. So I think the Redhawks are going to try to establish the run, since they ran on this team last year. And, man, that should really set up the passing game tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned that size of Brown. Like, who'd want to get in front of that, you know?
And he runs big. I mean, there's some dudes, you know, maybe they've got some size and strength, but they want to be, you know, east and west.
Juke and jive.
And that's not Peyton Brown, man.
Yeah.
He's going to lower his shoulder and run over you if he can.
Well, that's like you just said. That'll open up the ability to see SEMO's new quarterback. You know, throw the ball some. I really found it interesting at the Arkansas State game. What is 30-something run plays, 30-something pass plays, and I know that.
36 passes, 33 runs for the Redhawks.
Very, very balanced. And
this is an unfair comparison, but North Alabama played Western Kentucky. They didn't score a touchdown. They got beat 55-6. They had 2 field goals. They have a good field goal kicker. So, no touchdowns. And I would say Western Kentucky, Arkansas State, maybe they're very similar in terms of what they're going to do this year, talent level. I don't know. But SEMO scored 3 touchdowns against Arkansas State. I know it's not a fair comparison, but it was an FBS matchup for North Alabama. They couldn't get in the end zone. SEMO had an FBS game. They got in the end zone 3 times, scored 24 points. Well, that's really the only measuring stick you've got.
You try to
right
figure
now.
out, you try to figure out storylines or measuring sticks, and that's kind of one of them. You think they come out running quite a bit to start the game? I mean, it's run, and get that established, and then work from there.
I'd be surprised if the first play of the game is a pass play from Leatherwood. Well, you never know.
Yeah,
maybe they'll try to catch North Alabama off guard. I will say that SEMO's top receiver, Cam Pedro, who led the OVC in catches last year, the OVC Big South, 6 catches, including a touchdown against North Alabama. So last year, they had a hard time covering Cam Pedro. Now, they also had Dorian Anderson and Tristan Smith. Those are 2 really good options this year. So last year, you kind of felt like, okay, Cam Pedro's maybe a 2 or a 3 on that particular team.
Yeah.
This year, he's the number 1. So maybe they devote more resources defensively to try and slow down Pedro because he had a good game against them last year. We'll see, but they had a hard time staying with Cam Pedro last year. We'll see how they do against him this year. First of all, they couldn't stop Peyton Brown, and they had a hard time with Cam Pedro, and now they've got to deal with those same dudes again tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. Again, coming off of that Arkansas State game and talked to a few people about this, like I think you walk away from that game thinking, SEMO, they did okay. They got out of there with, as you said, a few touchdowns. Jax, I think. How can you not be happy with his debut as a SEMO Red Hawk? Able to run the ball some, and so look forward to the start of the home schedule. And
1 day, 8 hours, 32 minutes.
Ooh, another countdown is on
until kickoff, and we will, as we do each year, all the home football games we will have them on ESPN Plus, in addition to Real Rock 99.3 and the St. Francis Healthcare Red Hawks Radio Network. So, radio and ESPN Plus, take your pick. They use our broadcast for that. Hey, I did see something.
But get out to the stadium.
Yeah. Come see the game.
Be there in person. Understand that certain things, the best way to do it, be there in person. Throw some, I guess we have to refer to them now as earbuds, not headphones. Throw some of those in and listen to that radio call with you and Rick Weezer on Real Rock 99.3. That's the best way to take in the game.
Okay, so I'm looking at the weather forecast. It is 78 as a high tomorrow. 24% chance of precip. Let me see. The overnight low tomorrow night, 49.
So that means you're gonna bring that coat with those warming pads in it. Is that what that means?
No.
For tomorrow night?
No.
Okay.
I think I may wear long sleeves, because it's probably going to be, after 10 o'clock by the time we get out.
Once the sun goes down, it'll be cool.
Trying to see. At 6 o'clock tomorrow night, it's a 7-mile-an-hour wind, supposed to be 75 degrees.
Oh,
at
gosh.
9 o'clock, 62. 10 o'clock, 59.
It's beautiful.
It's going to be perfect.
Beautiful.
That is fantastic weather.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Let's keep it that way for the rest of the season.
What kind of crowd do you think we're going to have?
Let's have that weather in mid-November.
That'd be great.
Whenever, or better yet, when they host another playoff game, have that weather there. I think the crowd will be big.
I can't imagine it's not going to be a really big crowd. They're coming off a conference championship, a home playoff game. It was a close game. You're not going to have games where you have 8 turnovers. It was a fluky deal, and you still had a chance late in the game to win the football game. I got to think that people are going to be pumped up. We have not had football in so long, it seems like. You look at the ratings for week 1 of college football last week. I'm sure the ratings are going to be huge for this Cowboys-Eagles game. I think people want to watch football.
Agreed.
I don't know another way to say it.
Yeah, agreed. Students are in, they're all back and here. And
it's not like there's some big college football game that you need to watch on TV. Have you looked at the schedule for college football this weekend? It's garbage.
Other than us talking about it earlier in the week.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's not good. So let me give you some of the matchups here. Second-ranked Penn State, home against Florida International. Texas hosts San Jose State. Illinois at Duke. Illinois is ranked 11th. Florida State hosting East Texas A&M. Iowa State. Now, that's always a barn burner. SMU, 17th ranked, hosts Baylor. Indiana, Kennesaw State. Texas Tech, Kent State. Texas A&M hosting Utah State. Ohio State welcomes the Grambling Tigers to the Shoe. Georgia, Austin Peay. Oregon hosts Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State's not ranked. Van Gundy has done a little talking for Oklahoma State. Maybe adds a little spice. Clemson, after a tough loss, versus Troy. Ole Miss at Kentucky. It's an actual SEC game.
Yep.
That's at 2:30 tomorrow. Tennessee hosts the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Florida hosts South Florida. Well, South Florida, I think they have a chance maybe to be competitive. 17.5-point spread on that game. Utah versus Cal Poly. Miami, Bethune-Cookman. South Carolina State. LSU hosts Louisiana Tech. Arizona State at Mississippi State. Hey, two ranked schools are playing each other tomorrow night on ABC, Mike. Oklahoma in Norman hosting Michigan. And then you've got Alabama against Louisiana Monroe. It's garbage.
When's the last time Oklahoma and Michigan played? I just don't
Good question.
recall that matchup.
Yeah.
That seems like an odd matchup. Really, the most on the FBS side of the ledger. I mean, probably the most compelling game is Missouri, Kansas.
Going to be a good game.
Can make the case, especially with the the whole border war piece.
I don't know.
I know they're not ranked.
Do we know if this is a 1-year deal?
Don't know.
To play the Jayhawks? I know they needed to get that basketball game back on before anybody was worried about football. And they did. They did get the two teams back on the basketball floor. So, 2:30 kickoff for Roe Field.
Yeah, didn't Mizzou win that game?
Yeah, Mizzou beat them in basketball.
And beat them, had a huge lead in that game.
Right now, this morning, Mizzou, 6.5-point favorite. It's an over. The total is 50.5. Kansas 2-0.
I got some info for you here, Eric.
Okay.
You ready? You asked, is this Kansas-Missouri game a 1-year deal?
Right.
They agreed on a 4-game series.
4 games.
In which each school will get 2 home games with future showdowns in 26. So I guess that'd be next season. And then you got to wait a few years, and it's 2031 and 2032.
Okay.
So there you go.
Eli Drinkwitz, I'm not going to say he Lou Holtz'd it. Lou Holtz, they could be taking on Holy Cross, and he could make them sound like, they're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Eli Drinkwitz was doing that, but he was talking about how awesome Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels is, and he's played well. If Kansas is going to win the football game, Jalen Daniels has to have a big game. He is a playmaker. So far, Daniels has thrown for 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. He's been sacked 1 time, and he can run. It's 11 carries for 65 yards. So Jalen Daniels is going to be the key offensive piece for the Kansas Jayhawks if they're going to beat the Missouri Tigers in Columbia tomorrow. Now, why are they 2-0? They beat the Wagner Seahawks, and they beat the Fresno State Bulldogs.
So they haven't played anybody.
Exactly.
Is it Kurt Warner's son that's on the QB for Fresno State?
Let's check it out.
Now, there's a game that you may have.
E.J. Warner.
I thought that was his son.
So against Kansas, he was 18 of 29, 179, no touchdowns, 2 picks.
He'll be sacking groceries soon.
Yeah.
A game,
4 carries for minus 23 yards for Warner.
a game that you, I think, skipped over, but I think it's kind of compelling.
Okay.
For a couple of different reasons. The Arkansas State-Arkansas game.
It's compelling for Arkansas State. They've never played them in football.
Correct.
It's a
And that's it.
It's a monumental game.
Right.
And we were kind of thinking, I wonder at all if any of these players are looking ahead to the Razorbacks when they played SEMO.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Hard to know that. It didn't look that way with the score, but I think that's a compelling game to keep an eye on. And especially
for one thing, Arkansas State, SEMO just played them, and the game has never transpired in the history of the world.
So if you're an Arkansan, that's probably a game that you're really excited about.
Arkansan.
Did I say that right?
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, very good. See, I would have.
That's a 4:00 ESPN Plus game.
I'd have been more rudimentary. If you're from Arkansas, but Arkansas is better.
I think that's a good one to keep tabs on.
It's probably a strong word for me to say the college football schedule is garbage, but well, and I understand you can't have if you're the big boys, you have to play the blood donors. I get it. But after last week,
right, that's the issue.
And all the good football we had, we got nothing.
Yeah.
Or at least very minimal. Now, Michigan, Oklahoma, okay. Might be all right. Last night, we had Philly and Dallas. We had a 1-point game at halftime. Philly led 21-20. The Cowboys did not score a point in the second half. The Eagles had a field goal in the third quarter, so the two teams combined for 3 points. We had a weather delay. We had a spitting incident before Dallas ran a play. I mean, it was the opening kickoff, and one of the Eagles special teamers went down with an injury. They carted him off, so probably done. One play. And before we could run an offensive snap, Jalen Carter, the dominant defensive lineman for the Eagles, spits on the front of the jersey of Dak Prescott. Now, there's video that came out that Prescott had spit onto the ground behind his offensive lineman prior. And Dak, after the game, said,
I do it all the time.
I probably spit 50 times a game. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a bad habit, and but that's the way it is. You don't spit on another dude. Come on.
Well, and as you said,
unless you're getting ready to fight,
he wasn't just any, Joe Schmo for the Eagles that did it. I mean, his absence impacted the game.
That's a dude that has to be constantly double-teamed. He's a game wrecker. He is one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the sport. He's like Chris Jones for the Chiefs. He is you've got to know where he's at before the football is snapped on every play, or he's going to wreck something.
He wasn't there.
He didn't get a snap in. And after the game, he apologized, said it was stupid.
Yeah, well, he got that right.
So that's the way things started.
How do you, as a head coach of a football team, how do you handle that situation? I'm sure there could be some, league implications. The league may handle it potentially in a certain way.
Maybe he gets a fine. I mean, I don't see a suspension. He got kicked out of the game.
Right.
He's already missed a game.
Just, yeah. That wasn't on the list of issues that the Eagles felt like they were going to have to deal with before the game started. Probably didn't have that one on their bingo card.
It was not even. No one even thought about something like that. And then, of course, that is a huge topic of conversation this morning. And I don't know. You like Ryan Clark of ESPN?
You know, I don't.
I don't like him.
I don't know if I do or.
I don't like him. He's a race baiter. He's a. He wears a brooch that he designed with his initials on it on his lapel of his sport coats.
So you're saying he probably gave himself a nickname?
I'm not a fan of Ryan Clark. I mean, there are some analysts that you like, some that you don't. I'm not a big Clark guy. He weighed in this morning on Get Up about Jalen Carter and the spitting incident. Here's ESPN's Ryan Clark.
Well, but when Jalen Carter, who is one of the best players in the entire NFL, shows that lack of respect for the game, shows that lack of ability to make good decisions early on in the game, that is such a selfish play. Not only is it freaking disgusting, right? Not only do you show what a low-level human you are in that moment, but you let the entire team down. Everything that the Philadelphia Eagles do up front centers around Jalen Carter. When we're looking at the runs of Javonte Williams, when you see Miles Sanders go for 49, those are plays where you immediately think to yourself, where is Jalen Carter? And you know where he was? He was at the casino down the street, probably watching the game because Big Dom had to walk him into the locker room. Yep. You cannot do that. And if you're Nick Sirianni, you have to make an example out of him. That's one of those times that you walk in the meeting and you put the film on, and you know how you do it. Bill Belichick would do this. He'd put the film on, then he'd cut it off, and he'd only show Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott, and you got to cuss him out. You got to tell him how big of a mistake this is. You got to tell him how he let the entire team down. And if you continue to do this, you'll never be the player you're supposed to be, and certainly not the man.
And also what that did.
All right.
Now, you may not care for him, but do you like that analysis?
Yeah, I like that take.
Because sometimes, you can kind of try to understand the analysis, and maybe that was a good analysis. I just don't like whose mouth it came out of. You know what I mean?
Sure. I'm not saying he didn't know the game. I just not a fan.
It seemed like he was pretty forthright about what everyone else is probably thinking.
Man. So it turned out to be a pretty close game, 24-20. You got Jerry Jones, who holds press conferences down in the tunnels after games. After games are done, he comes out of his luxury high-rise and goes down into the tunnels. I don't know if he goes into the locker room and talks to the guys after every game, but that's where he is, down outside the locker room, and he always has a press conference. And it almost seemed like Jerry Jones was taking some sort of a moral victory lap.
Based off of what?
Moral victories. We played them close. They're a heck of a team.
Because we just traded off.
Proud of the way we fought tonight, the Cowboy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they did play him close, but
that was a close game.
To the,
1 point at halftime. How about scoring in the second half? How about that?
Right, yeah. What was it, 7 straight possessions? There was scoring on 7 straight possessions, I think, between the two teams.
Wasn't good.
Yeah.
All right.
Ryan Schottenheimer still thinks they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I called him Kyle Schottenheimer. Yeah. First I called him Kyle Shanahan. Then I called him Kyle Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, son of Marty, the late Marty Schottenheimer. I like him. You seen any of his interviews, Schottenheimer?
Just a few, not a lot.
I like him.
Not a lot.
We'll get into our predictions for week 1, but I did want to point out Paul Skeens is now over 500. He is 10-9.
Wow. This is first time in his career?
The Pittsburgh Pirates swept the Dodgers.
Can you believe that?
Skeens beat the Dodgers last night. They didn't get anything against him.
Dodgers have been, they've had their issues, especially with these, what you would think would be easy series. But Paul Skeens is going to be a problem for anybody.
I mean, 10-9 now. So we're excited about that, right?
Cy Young winner?
Absolutely.
Walking away with it?
Absolutely. Lowered his ERA, Mike, to 1.98. That's best in Major League Baseball.
When is, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but when's the last time of those that qualify, someone had a sub-2 ERA?
Oh, it's happened. I mean,
recently?
Yeah, Pedro Martinez won multiple Cy Youngs with a sub-2 ERA. So it's Greg Maddux, sub-2. I mean, but it's hard to have a sub-2 earned run average.
And it's hard to be over 500 when you pitch for the Pirates.
So I want to get his line here for you. They win the game 5-3, but Skeens, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk.
6 innings, you say?
Yes.
So 8 strikeouts and 6 innings?
He threw 94 pitches, so they kept him under 100, but 8 Ks. So it's a 1.98 ERA. The bullpen gave up 3 runs, so it ended up being 5-3. And as far as the Dodgers go, hey, I don't think the Padres are going away. It is a 2-game lead. The Dodgers have lost 3 in a row, and the Padres have lost 4 in a row. I mean, they just got swept by the Pirates. You couldn't gain any ground on them. In fact, you lost the game. They were a game back.
Dodgers, is their pitching staff, their starting staff all back?
Yes.
All the guys?
Everybody is back.
So
like Snell's back. Yes.
Did he get a loss yesterday? Or maybe that was the day before? I think he pitched in this series. But so Snell's back. The whole crew is back, basically.
Everybody's healthy. I tell you, the guy who's really pitching well is Kershaw.
I'm not followed that.
He is pitching terrifically right now. Tell you the guy who kind of scuffled a little, Tyler Glass now. But he's back. And in terms of just pure stuff, he's among the elite pitchers in baseball, just in terms of stuff. So Kershaw, it's a 9-2 record, a 3.28 ERA.
And this is a guy that's
age 37.
He's got one leg in retirement.
I mean,
they don't seem to be putting up the and I don't. This is just anecdotally offensive numbers that they have. Mookie Betts is having a really tough year.
Betts is having a bad year.
I mean, he's at what, 250. Freeman
got off to a slow start.
Yeah, not quite maybe the power numbers that you would see out of him. OPS is 858, but
to 294.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of guys hitting 300 anymore. I mean, we've documented that on this show in terms of 300 hitters.
Yeah, but Betts, man, he's struggling.
I don't know
big
what's going
time
on with Mookie Betts. I wonder if having to play shortstop, it's a challenge. He's never been a shortstop.
That could be the case.
Or age is just starting to set it. In the National League, by the way, if the season ended today, Trey Turner would win the batting title. He is the only qualified hitter in the National League hitting over 300, and he's batting 301.
He's right there.
Freddie Freeman's 294 average ranks third. The great Sal Frelick for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Never heard of him.
Checks in at 297. So that's the National League. In the American League, you got a few guys over 300. Aaron Judge leading the way at 322. Cal Raleigh's 8 home runs ahead of Judge now, 51-43. And they're doing this thing on MLB Network, MLB Television Network, because there is the MLB Radio Network. they run it, on the scroll on the bottom, they put up a graphic chasing Mantle. Mickey Mantle, the all-time single-season home run leader for switch hitters. He had 54 in 1961 before he got hurt. If you've ever seen the movie 61, got his hip infected, took that B12 shot. So he hit 54, and Raleigh's at 51. So he's chasing the single-season home run record for switch hitters.
Barring injury, he's got it.
You would think.
You would think so.
And so Aaron Judge, 43, and Junior Campanaro. We were kind of introduced to him nationally in the home run derby. It's 40 home runs for Campanaro. 22 years old.
Man.
Just turned 22 July 5th.
That's impressive.
40 and 102.
Is this his second season?
It's his kind of.
Okay.
I mean, in 23, played 7 games.
Okay.
Last year, it was 43 games and 165 at-bats. So first full season, he's played 134 games. So I would say it's his first full season, but he had a taste in 23, came up, to the big leagues last year, but only played in 43 games.
So 22 years old, 40 home runs. Guy stays healthy, and you start doing the math on
I think he's the third youngest to get to 40 home runs. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to run through the NFL slate for you and get our predictions in there, who we think is going to win opening weekend of the National Football League. It's the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN. Sports Huddle, SEMO ESPN. 1220 AM, 93.5 on the FM dial. Online at SEMOESPN.com. Don't forget, Cape Central football tonight. Tigers are at home against St. Charles West, Class 3 team that they shut out last year, 35-0. No Keyshawn Boyd, unfortunately. Rusty Hendricks will have the pregame starting at 6:45 here on SEMO ESPN. And then Rusty back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for the SEMO Scramble. All right. Football tonight in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5 to knock off the Los Angeles Chargers. It'll feel like a home game for the Chargers since they don't they don't have any kind of home field advantage at Sci-Fi. Whoever they're playing has as many fans as, it's going to take them a while to get a big following in Los Angeles. Great stadium, but they're renters at SoFi. So Chiefs by 3.5.
Chiefs?
I like the Chiefs. All right, then we get into the Sunday 12 noon games. It is Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay, a road favorite, 1.5. Baker Mayfield threw for 41 touchdowns last year. I don't know if the average person knows that. He had a fabulous year. Michael Penix, starting quarterback for the Falcons. Who you got?
Tampa Bay.
I like the Bucks as well. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are favored by 5.5 to go into Cincinnati and beat Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns.
Is this a road game for Cincy, or are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at Cleveland.
And I did bring up the 41 touchdowns that Mayfield threw for. Joe Burrow threw for 43
MVP
touchdowns and 4,900 yards. 43 tutties, 9 picks.
Isn't Cleveland kind of in disarray?
Always.
Yeah, this line.
The factory of sadness.
Seems like this line should be a little bigger, but
5.5.
They know what they're doing. Go Cincy.
I've got the Bengals. Dolphins at Colts. Indy, a favorite. 1.5-point favorite over Tua and the Dolphins.
Well, I think did I pick Miami to be a wild card? I can't remember. I think I did. So I got to go. I got to go Miami.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins too in this game. The New England Patriots hosting the Raiders. Now, I've got the Patriots as a wild card. They're favored by 2.5. I got to go with New England. Although I'm excited to see Ashton Genty. I think he's got a chance to be a stud running back for Las Vegas.
Yep. Patriots.
I'm picking Mike Vrabel's Patriots to sneak into a wild card spot. So we both like New England. The Arizona Cardinals, 6.5-point favorites at New Orleans.
I wish it was a much closer line, but let's go Big Red.
I think the Cardinals should take care of business. Aaron Rodgers returns to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, this time in a Steelers uniform against his former team, the Jets.
Does he get booed?
Yes.
He's going to get booed big time.
The Steel Curtain favored by 2.5.
I take him. Pittsburgh.
I'll take Pittsburgh as well. The Commanders hosting the New York Giants. And Washington, 6.5-point favorite. Jaden Daniels leading them to the conference title game last year. The Giants, they're legit on defense, especially their front line. They can get after the quarterback. I'll be interested to see the Washington offensive line against that front seven of the Giants.
Yeah, I go Washington.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Commanders as well. The Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars hosting the Carolina Panthers. 3.5 is the spread. Jacksonville favored.
Jacksonville?
I think Jacksonville and Carolina are going to be improved this year.
Let's hope so.
Bryce Young, he came on last year.
Yeah.
After getting benched. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, and the Broncos, 8.5-point favorites at home over Cam Ward, the number one pick in the draft, and the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I got Denver as a wild card team, so I got to go Denver.
I can't pick Tennessee. I got to see Cam Ward. The Titans, they're weak. There's a reason they had the number one pick. 49ers, 2.5-point favorites in Seattle.
Yeah, San Francisco.
I like the Niners. I think they're having a good year. They're playing a last-place schedule because they finished in last place. Mm-hmm. That is going to help San Francisco.
Sure.
They're not playing the Chiefs' schedule. The Lions at the Packers, Green Bay favored by 1.5.
I'm going Detroit.
I'm going Green Bay.
Ooh.
I like the Packers. I like Jordan Love.
Is Parsons going to play? Do we know yet?
I don't think we know.
Game day decision?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't have the latest breaking news on Micah Parsons.
We know who does.
If there wasn't an NFL game last night, they'd be talking nonstop as they have been for weeks on.
Luckily, Spitgate happened, so that'll help.
It was named Spitgate immediately.
The narrative.
I saw it on social media.
Okay.
Spitgate.
Well, I didn't see that, but good.
The Fighting Cronkies are at SoFi to take on the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud. 3.5 Rams.
I'm gonna go for a little upset here. I'm gonna go with Houston with the Texans.
I'm gonna go with the Fighting Rammies. 3.5-point favorites.
Can't believe you would side with Kroenke.
On week 1, this is the best game.
This is the matchup right here.
It is Buffalo versus Baltimore, the two most recent, most valuable players in the NFL. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Man, I'm looking forward to this. This is a Sunday night game, NBC, 7:20 kickoff, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park. 1.5-point favorite for Buffalo.
Well, I chose Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, so I'm going to go with them to win this game.
I'm going to go with the Bills, but I got to be honest, I do not trust their defense. I just don't trust them.
Yeah. Well, this will be a good test right off the bat.
Oh, my goodness. And the
then
Monday
we've got
night game.
Monday night.
Caleb Williams and the Bears versus the J.J. McCarthy-led Minnesota Vikings. And the Bears are a home dog, 1.5-point favorite, Minnesota.
I'm going to go with the Bears.
Man, Caleb Williams holds the ball. I mean, took 68 sacks. That was 13 more than the next closest quarterback to get sacked.
Rookie year last year, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's learned his lesson.
I got to see it on the field. I'm going Vikings.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Got all the talent in the world. San Francisco.
Chicago's defense is good.
San Francisco Giants are in town tonight. Michael McGreevy.
Oh, we're talking baseball now.
Will be on the hill. Well, we're winding her up, so I'm going to get all of our weekend scenarios in here. Oh, by the way, do you like Mizzou against the Hawk?
Well, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. I think Tigers reel it in.
I think we find out a little bit about Mizzou tomorrow.
Well, that's for sure. I mean,
Kansas is better.
Yeah, they're a better team.
These aren't Charlie Weiss's Jayhawks. They've got a good coach.
Yeah. Well, it's the combination of a better team, and then the spotlight's big because of the history between the two teams.
It's a border war.
So that always adds to the intensity, the nerve meter.
And the San Francisco Giants, they're riding a 4-game winning streak. I think very quietly, the average baseball fan may not know that the Giants, in their last 10 games, are 9-1, and they have leapfrogged the Cardinals in the wild card. They are the closest to the Mets in the National League. They're 4 back.
Yeah, I saw that. Not real happy with that, but luckily the Cardinals get to play them head on and hopefully do a little damage there in the standings. Because I think when we were a couple weeks ago, we looked at the schedule for the Cardinals. We thought, well, it's you got the A's. Really thought the Cincinnati series could be the one that kind of is an issue for them because the Giants weren't playing that well, but they've turned the corner.
Originally, yesterday, we gave you the pitching matchup. Originally, it was Sonny Gray versus Justin Verlander tomorrow. That is flip-flopped. It is now Andre Palante tomorrow versus Verlander. And it will be on Fox, if you're looking for it. And then it's Sonny Gray on Sunday. Yesterday, it was Gray versus Verlander. I'm interested about that.
Well, he lost to the A's. It was Monday, right? It was against the A's on Monday. Gave up the back-to-back home runs.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Start Saturday.
It's 4 days rest.
Yeah. Now, hopefully that's not a sign of an issue of some sort. He's a kind of a quirky one.
So, for Justin Verlander, 265 victories, 3,022 strikeouts.
I think he's got Hall of Fame in his future.
When's the next guy is going to get to 265 wins?
You got to pitch as long as he has.
Good Lord. I mean, he has had a fabulous career. Fabulous.
Indeed he has.
So you're going to watch a future Hall of Famer tomorrow, and I'm not speaking of Palante. That'll be tomorrow at Busch. All right, we've got Cape Central football tonight. Tigers play their home opener. Jackson is at home as well. They'll take on Ballard. From Louisville, Kentucky, the Ballard Bruins, they are 1-1. They beat Lexington Catholic, lost a game against Male High School last week. They were down 17-0 at halftime. It ended up 17-14. They needed to make a third down stop against Mayo last week. Couldn't get it done, and they were able to make Ballard spend their final 2 timeouts and run out the clock. Sykeston playing state-ranked Dexter, home opener for the Bulldogs, who scored 70 last week in a win on the road over the Crystal City Hornets. That is on KSIM radio. And then SEMO football home opener, 6 o'clock tomorrow. And again, it is MRV Banks. It is Simply Swirled. It is Smoothie King, where you get your free tailgate tickets. And there are only so many.
Oh, yeah, we only put a certain amount out. And so when they're gone, they're gone.
If you don't get them soon.
Our general sales manager, Jack, works the door at the tent. He's a no mess around type of guy. No ticket, no entry. But you got the ticket. It's like the Willy Wonka. You know, you get to go in and enjoy all the fun.
I will say this. I'll give you a tip. If you're talking to Jack Swart at the one way that you might, and I emphasize might, be able to work your way or talk your way in is start talking White Sox baseball and start talking about this rookie named Colson Montgomery, who had another home run last night.
Shortstop.
It is 17 home runs now for Colson Montgomery. He's 23 years old.
The Sox have been actually playing pretty darn good.
They've been playing much better.
They've won 4 in a row at one point, and he's an exciting player. There's no doubt about it.
He had 10 home runs in August.
Man, that's a lot.
So,
if you want to sweet talk your way in, just bring up Colson Montgomery and the White Sox.
Talking White Sox baseball.
That's where you're talking to the person, and then you're like waving the other people behind you.
That's the move.
Walk on in.
That is the move.
That's
right. Why we brought it up. Yeah. Absolutely, you got it down,
and it'll happen. I mean, it would for sure happen. You just bring up, hey, Jack, we're going to get Colson Montgomery. Oh, my gosh. Okay, start walking.
Just do a quick Cliff Notes study on the White Sox.
That's right.
And you're in if you don't have a ticket.
That's right.
All right, say hello to the radiant and ravishing Dawn Shawn. Day off today. And we had a nice time yesterday. And we are going to the Jackson game tonight. She's our spotter, man. She's right up there with the binoculars, and she was our spotter at Arkansas State. I mean, I'm telling you, their press box is way up. It was really hard to read the numbers, and man, she had the glasses on, writing the numbers down. She's a great spotter. She won't be at the SEMO game tomorrow, has to work, but she'll be at the Jackson game tonight. All right.
Fantastic.
Big plans this weekend?
Hey, we're talking about it.
All right.
We're talking about it.
Plenty of football to keep an eye on. All right, we'll reconvene on Monday.
See ya.
All right, that's the lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the SEMO Scramble tomorrow morning at 9. Have a terrific weekend. Enjoy the football.